Hello guys and welcome to our English lesson. And now our LA is to write a setting description of Pompeii using the first 2 pages of Escape from Pompeii. Now it is going to be a little bit of a different session today because I am expecting you guys to do a big write, just like we do at school. And our big write is going to be a setting description, just like it says in our LA. Now, we have actually done a setting description. It's probably back in October time, and this is where we did a setting description of a forest. But we're going to have a go today of doing one in Pompeii. For those people that are struggling and already that they're not quite sure what a setting description is, usually a setting description is in perhaps a book or a narrative, and it describes what someone can see, or what they can hear, what they can touch, what they can taste, and it really paints a picture in their head about what it is, and it really enlivens their imagination. So when I am reading your setting descriptions at the end of today, I really want to be able to just close my eyes and just really imagine it from your words. That would be brilliant. Now we're going to move on straight away to our success criteria. So these are the things that I want you to think about when you're writing your big write today, your setting description. In our success criteria, it is everything that we have done this week. And you can see straight away our first bullet point, embedded clauses. Now that what we did on Wednesday, an embedded clause. Remember our burgers? We have got our main clause, and in the middle, squashed in the middle, our burger. That is our embedded clause. And they usually begin with which, who, or with. And I really want to see some of those in your writing today. Next, our varied sentence starters. Now that is what we did on Thursday, just yesterday. And these are, I want to see in your setting description different ways of starting your sentence. So can you start your sentence with a conjunction? Can you start your sentence with an adverb? Or how about a verb? Or can you just start it with an adjective or a noun? All these different ways of doing it. And then finally, as I've already mentioned, I would like you to use the 5 senses. So the 5 senses, this is what we did back in October. Over here we've got our nose, we've got our smell, we've got our touch over here, we've got our what we can see, what we can hear, and what we can taste. So there's our 5 senses that I want to see in your setting description today. Now, I know that we haven't done any work recently on using the 5 senses. So today, just give it a go with these. Remember, this is only the first time that we're doing a setting description that we've been learning about. This is just the first opportunity to do so. So I do not expect these to be perfect, and I do not expect you to get this to be brilliant. We are going to have a few goes at doing this setting description. We've only had 1 week worth of learning of this. We've still got another 2 weeks to really get this and to get some more content in. So give this your best shot, and yes, give it a go. Now I have written my own setting description. I have used my work from Monday, or some of your guys' work from Monday, the picture that you drew of Pompeii, and using all those ideas, I have created my own setting description. Now I have imagined that I am there, but I'm not talking about it as that I can see. I'm just talking about it in general. So for example, I'll show you what I mean. So from the beginning, down by the harbour, the overworked fishermen load their massive bags full of frightened, flopping fish. Already there, I've got my expanded noun phrase just here: frightened, flopping fish. And when I've got 2 adjectives, I need to have my comma in there. In the distance lays the great protector, staring at the city. The mountain, which is always watching, towers in the sky. Straight away there, it's only my 3rd sentence, but I have already got an embedded clause in there. So I've got my main clause, the mountain towers in the sky, and in the middle, my burger, and I've got my keyword here, which starts with which is always watching, towers in the sky. That's a brilliant sentence right there for our embedded clause. Next, swiftly, the birds chirp and sing over the crystal clear water. Again, that is a brilliant sentence starter. I have got my adverb straight away after. I've got my comma, and the birds chirp and sing over the crystal clear water. And again, that's one of our senses. That is something that you can hear. Heavy gusts of wind which blow salt into your mouth ripples the enormous ship's sails. There we have another embedded clause. So we've got our main clause here, heavy gust of wind, with our piece of punctuation, our comma, and we've got our lovely word which blows salt into your mouth. At the end of our embedded clause, we put another comma, ripples the enormous ship's sails. Now remember, with our embedded clauses, we can put heavy gusts of wind. If we actually cross this middle bit out, ripples the enormous ship's sails. So heavy gusts of wind ripples the enormous ship's sails. It still makes sense even without that embedded clause. That's a good way to recognise whether our embedded clause has worked. And there it says, blows salt into your mouth. Have you ever been to the seaside before? Sometimes the wind blows all the salty sea into your mouth. Tastes very, very salty, not very nice. That is straight away one of our senses. And I can already imagine me being in Pompeii. And next, even though the wind was strong, got a lovely comma, the birds elegantly flew out to sea to get their catch. There we've got even though. That is our connective to start our sentence. That is another varied sentence starter. Got my comma after my little sentence, and then the birds elegantly flew out to sea to get their catch. And then finally, we've got lonely. Tranio watched the world go by. Again, another varied sentence starter. I've got a feeling to start my sentence. Straight after I've got my comma, and Tranio watched the world go by. So in there, I have definitely added my embedded clauses. I've definitely got lots and lots of different varied sentence starters, and I have definitely used my 5 senses. Again, in my waggle that I've just read there, I actually didn't mention all of my senses. I only mentioned to see, to hear, and to taste. So I've still actually got 2 more senses, to touch and to smell, that I could be adding in and improving my work with. But I think that you guys can be adding in all 5 of the senses, getting your varied sentence starters in there and your embedded clauses. So guys, your task for today, using my waggle and using the success criteria and your work from this week, I would like you to create your own sentence description of Pompeii. And remember, add in some embedded clauses, add in the varied sentence starters, and use the 5 senses. I want this, remember this is a big write, so I think that I want quite a lot of writing for this. I would say at least a good half a page of A4 thinking about your sentence description. I know that you can do it, and I really do look forward to seeing your writing.